Good evening. This is the World News at 6 on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent, and here are the top stories. Tinubu becomes Nigeria's vice president for a day. Abia Assembly Majority Leader smashes beer bottle on colleague's head during fight over Governor Oti's cash gift. Amnesty International demands release of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer brother remanded in prison over hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, and President Tinubu nominates Bernard Doro as minister to replace APC chairman. You'll watch the details now. Thank you for staying tuned. The World News at 6 begins with a teenager, Joy Oga, symbolically taking over the seat of Vice President Kashim Shettima for a day, using the platform to advocate passionately for the rights and education of girls across Nigeria. In a statement issued by the Office of the Vice President on Tuesday, the symbolic handover took place during a meeting on Monday between Vice President Shettima and a delegation from Plan International led by Helen Mfonobong Idiong, Director of Program Quality and Innovation. From the Vice President chair, Oga highlighted the challenges facing girls in the country, noting that over 10.5 million children remain out of school, more than 60% of whom are girls. She urged for an investment in education that is safe and inclusive for every child. She also urged the government to provide free sanitary products in schools and ensure access to clean water, sanitation, and proper nutrition for all children. She stressed that every girl deserves a classroom, a choice, dignity, and not silence. Vice President Shettima also used the occasion to reaffirm President Bola Tinubu's commitment to advancing girl-child education and inclusive learning nationwide. Recent reports indicate growing national momentum towards gender inclusivity in education. In a tragic development, bandits in large numbers stormed a hospital in Kaduna State in the early hours of Tuesday, abducting several patients and a medical doctor on duty. According to a source in Kaduna, the bandits stormed Kujama town, which is the headquarters of Chikun local government area, and went straight to the private hospital. The hospital, Nasara Nursing and Maternity Home, and other houses were attacked. At the hospital, the assailant abducted 5 patients, the medical doctor on duty, and a security guard. One of the security personnel who attempted to resist the attackers was shot multiple times, sustaining severe injuries before being rushed to another hospital for treatment. In a similar incident last Friday, bandits had killed 2 police officers in the southern Kaduna region of Kaduna State. The attack occurred on Friday evening, as confirmed by a resident. The officers were killed inside the divisional police headquarters in Zongwa town, which is also the headquarters of Zangon Kataf local government area. Meanwhile, a violent altercation reportedly broke out among members of the Labour Party caucus in the Abia State House of Assembly during a meeting over the sharing of money allegedly disbursed by Governor Alex Oti, the majority leader of the House and member representing Arochukwu State constituency, Honorable Okoro Uchenna Kalo, allegedly attacked his colleague, Honorable Akachukwu Uchionge, who represent Abba Central State constituency, with a beer bottle, leaving him with deep head injury and severe concussion. The incident, according to multiple exclusive sources, occurred during a meeting of Labour Party lawmakers at the Abba residence of Honorable Fine Ahuama, member representing Osisioma Ngwa South constituency. The meeting was reportedly attended by the Speaker, Right Honorable Emmanuel Emerua, who was said to have cautioned those present not to leak details of the violent exchange or report the matter to the police. The attack followed disagreement during the sharing of money allegedly given to members of the Labour Party caucus of the State House of Assembly by Governor Alex Oti for passing the 2025 supplementary budget, according to a source at the meeting. According to the same source, the violent attack happened during the meeting of members of the Labour Party caucus at the Abba home of Honorable Fine Ohuama, who represent Osisiomangwa South constituency. Meanwhile, Amnesty International Nigeria has called for the immediate and unconditional release of Barrister Aloy Ejimako, the lead counsel for the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, and his younger brother, Prince Emmanuel Kano. The Global Human Rights Organization, in a statement today, condemned their arrest and remand in Kuje prison as a deliberate attempt to suppress peaceful dissent. A magistrate court in Kuje, Abuja, ordered their remand on Tuesday, October 21, 2025, along with 10 others following their participation in the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest in Abuja on Monday. The police charged them with inciting disturbance and breaching public peace, alleging that they obstructed traffic and disrupted public order while demanding the release of Kano. Amnesty International urged the Nigerian authorities to immediately and unconditionally release lawyer Aloy Ejimako and Prince Emmanuel Kano and to drop what they call the bizarre plan to subject them to a sham trial based on fabricated charges. They noted that their arrest and plan to arraign them shows a desperate attempt to silence peaceful dissent. Amnesty International also criticized the decision to remand them in Kuje prison, describing it as a further and chilling escalation of Nigerian government's relentless efforts to undermine freedom of assembly. The group noted that their detention reflects a much wider crackdown on civic space under President Bola Tinubu's government. It warned that such actions risk eroding the foundations of democratic engagement in Nigeria. You're still listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the name of Dr. Bernard Doro to the Nigerian Senate for confirmation as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nomination was disclosed today in a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga. Doro, who hails from Plateau State, is being nominated to replace Professor Nentawe Goshwe Yowatda, the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, who vacated his position after emerging as the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in July. Born on January 23, 1969 in Kwali, Bas local government area of Plateau State, Doro is described as a medical and administrative professional with over 2 decades of experience spanning clinical practice, pharmaceutical management, and strategic leadership in both Nigeria and the United Kingdom. According to Ononuga, Doro holds a degree in pharmacy and law, an MBA in IT-driven business strategy, and a master's in advanced clinical practice. Beyond his professional credentials, Doro is known for his involvement in youth mentorship and social impact programs within Nigerian diaspora circles and at home. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate today passed a life imprisonment bill against pedophiles and those who sexually defile minors. According to the bill, going forward in Nigeria, any man or woman who engages in sexual intercourse with a minor will face life in Akba Agatu Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. Ojema Ojotu has resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Ojotu, who serves as chairman of the House Committee on Inland Waterways, has defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). His defection was announced today during plenary by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the session. In a letter read on the floor of the House, Ojotu attributed his decision to the lingering crisis within the PDP, saying it has become untenable for him to remain in the party. This comes amid widespread defections as several People's Democratic Party (PDP) members continue to abandon the party for the ruling All Progressives Congress, citing internal crisis and leadership tussles within the opposition party. You're currently listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break and return with more stories and the news analysis segment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm now being joined by Mr. Awa Omiko of the Sunday Editorial Desk for the news analysis segment right here on the World News at 6. Good evening, Mr. Awa Omiko. How are you doing today?
Good evening. And you?
I'm very well. Thank you for
Thank
time. I hope you've been having a great day. Let's quickly get into the issues on the world news at 6 this evening. Vice President Kashim Shettima earlier today vacated his seat for a young lady, to a teenager, to take over. You know, when we were in primary school, there was this thing they used to call one-day president. But now, for today, we had a one-day vice president. It's been a while this has happened, bringing the teenagers, the young ones, into leadership positions, letting them know what it's like, and so that they can advocate for their peers. For a minute, I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, it is a good thing. I think it will help them to actually work harder and aspire for a leadership role. Hello?
I can hear you, Mr. Awa.
Yeah. Yes, it is a good thing. At least it will aspire them to, it will enable them to aspire for leadership role. I remember when we were much younger, such a thing actually like a sport to do better, do higher, do better, attain to higher goals, and want to be a model within the society. And it should not only end there. We should only incorporate this in the system, in the school system, and actually input those things that will make every child come out a better citizen, and not a nationalist, but a patriot. So that's just that.
All right.
We should work.
I'm with you, Mr. Awamiko. Please conclude
I
your
think we should work to make every Nigerian student or every product of Nigerian school to be a patriot, not a nationalist.
All right.
And it is by so doing that will make the country better.
Thank you for your submission, Mr. Awa Omiko. Amnesty International is demanding for the release of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer and his brother, along with 9 others who have been remanded in prison over the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest that took place on Monday. That was yesterday in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. They are being accused of breaching the public peace, causing nuisance, and preventing people from going about their lawful duties in the FCT yesterday. Now, we do know that neither of them were the leaders of the protest. They just joined the protest. This protest was spearheaded by Moele Shore. When the police came to arrest people at the protest, he ran away. When they were throwing tear gas at people, he ran away. Well, some Nigerians have said that is self-preservation. That's how it would be. But some Nigerians have also expressed suspicion, saying, is it that because he's younger, that's why he was able to run away quicker? Or is there, this thought of, did he deliver these people into the hands of the police? Granted, he did not force them to join the protest, but is this another agenda to keep Nnamdi Kanu behind bars for longer by detaining his lawyer?
Well, it has just added to the case. It has just added to the case because they should know that give and take, they are the arrowhead of the protest, and because no police will want to arrest ordinary person. It is the arrowhead that the police will be going for, and because once these people are held, they can come up with charges against them. But an ordinary person can be killed, and you begin to hear accidental discharge. But in this case, in Shore's escape, people may look at it from multifaceted angle. Maybe angle of sabotage, angle of leading people there running away, angle of not being a true leader, whichever angle you may look at it. Shore knew too well that he has breached the law because the constituted court said the protest shouldn't hold. So he is only looking out for any way to actually escape. But if you look at it in the other way around, he's just trying to escape for his life. They actually killed him and tell you it was an attempt. You see in Nigeria here, so many things go wrong. They actually killed him in that process, and they will say he was trying to escape. But he knew too well that they are coming for him, and that was why he did what he did. He acted based on the geographical location and on the political entity called Nigeria he resides. But if it has been a place like US, in fact, they may likely stone him because those have been leading large crowds will always stand and face it no matter what. Martin Luther King and others did the same. Even when police was after them, he said, shoot us, we are ready to die. But in this case, our own claim is different. Nigeria's situation is different. They may shoot you, whether the government will say, we are sorry for that, and the person they are saying they are sorry for is 6 feet below sea level. So that is exactly what I want to say. That Showore knew too well what is good, the outcome of the protest. And that was why he did what
how
he did.
Would he? Okay, he knew that he could have been arrested alongside these people and taken to court and then taken to prison. Amnesty International and other people who have been calling for the release of Aloy Ejimako, Nnamdi Kanu's brother, and 9 other people are saying, how come they were taken all the way to Kuje with all the prisons and the courts in the FCT? They had to be taken all the way to Kuje, which is known for harboring hardened criminals.
That's a way to tell you that our law here is not straight. There's always something that's always an underhand in every situation. There's always an underhand in every political situation, and it shows that this arrest is politically motivated. They could have been held at maybe somewhere in Abuja. The police may come out tomorrow to tell you they are afraid of jailbreak. but you weren't afraid of going to checkmate the protesters. But however, it is actually wrong to take them there. But they will still tell you it is within Nigeria. So you see that the law always has a way of creating the rule and at the same time breaking it. I'm not speaking for the police. I know that is what they are going to come out with. But the issue remains that they should have been detained at Abuja where the crime was actually committed. And besides, again, these two people, the lawyer and the brother, I know with their detention, it will give a new addition to Nnamdi Kanu's case. They will try to tell you now that both are collaborating, are conniving to bridge the peace and to make sure that they change the government. That is the next thing they're going to accuse them of, that they're trying to change the government. And with the rumor or counter rumor of coup or whatever, they may one way or the other try to link them to that. I know what that means in Nigeria. And this is the reason why the likes of Showore ran away. And because these ones couldn't run, they stood and they were held. And that is what is going to be. I believe when they will be tried, they are going to be released soon. Because that case on its own does not hold too much water. If you begin to look at the legality of it, to protest is our right. It's a right of every Nigerian. And you are using illegality to fight illegality. There was a court in Nigeria that declared that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. And the government is still holding Nnamdi Kanu. For what reason? Every time you want to release him, they will give you another charge. And this is why this is now coming out to say you as a government cannot be breaching the law by saying this one thing and doing the other thing. Let us go out and act. So if the lawyers are strong and well grounded in law and well grounded, take away possible sentiments to it. It is an illegality against illegality, which amounts to zero illegality on its own. So that arrest is equally an illegality because protest is part of our fundamental human rights.
All right. As a protest is part of our fundamental human right, Mr. Awa Omiko, many Nigerians are also asking the question, saying, if these people have been arrested for breaching public peace and the police know that they're not the ones who called for that protest, but yes, they are supporters, and Showore was the one who called for that protest, they have access to him, they know where he is, they can as well invite him. Even though he ran away when they wanted to arrest him at the venue, they know he's involved. So how come they've not gone after him, even afterwards?
Forget, if they want to arrest you, they will arrest him. We are just masquerading the situation. It's a situation of dog eat dog. Showore is not a spirit. So they want to arrest him, they will arrest him. So that's why I said It is an arrest that holds the water. They're just going to put them there to make them suffer, to make them smell their shit. Sorry for using that language. But that is what they're going to put them there, to make them suffer. And actually after a while bring them to make them succumb to the illegality of the government. In this part of the world, we seem to accept everything government does, and we just follow everything government does without asking questions. And it is high time we live from docility to being proactive and to being activist. This is the only way government should know that the people are not are partisans. And this is one of the ways to be a participatory citizen in your country. It's not about being docile. Docility will lead to silence and lead to the silence of the grave, if I should use the word of Ojukwu. And that wouldn't lead us to anywhere. No states in the world, all over the world, has ever grown on docility. People at one time or the other will show that level of protest. And it is for me, what are they crying for? Why the protest? Can't we sit down and judge instead of war? And if we must judge and war, let it be give and take. That is the situation. Let it be give and take. And let us see if there won't be peace. So if Nigeria should imbibe the spirit of give and take and not in the spirit of partial justice. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, Mr. Awa Omiko, for your submissions on that particular topic. Let's now look at another situation. What can be termed a show of shame, as a report has emerged that the Abia State Assembly Majority Leader smashed a beer bottle on his colleague's head during a fight over Governor Oti's cash gift. This incident reportedly happened a while ago, but the people involved, according to multiple exclusive sources, it was a meeting of Labour Party lawmakers at the Abia residence of a member representing Osisiomangwa South constituency. That's Honorable Fine Ahuama. The meeting was reportedly attended by the speaker, who reportedly cautioned those who were present not to leak the details of this violent exchange or to report the matter to the police. This is not the first time we are seeing men in highly placed political positions, people we call our political elites, the people who the citizens are supposed to be looking up to, the people who represent the citizens, people who are young ones are meant to be looking up to, getting into altercations that have become violent. What kind of money are they showing that they are smashing beer bottles on each other's heads? And should the governor actually be giving money to the lawmakers, allegedly, for passing the 2025 supplementary budget? Is that a payment? Are there some things in the budget that the governor was just very happy about for them passing it for him, for his own good, to his own advantage, to the extent that they will fight and smash bottles on each other's heads, Mr. Awamiko?
Well, this is a dance of shame, I must tell you. And people have been praising Governor Oti for his performance. And his legendary and laudable project he has been carrying out in the state. But with this, is a very big negative, is a very big blow, dent on his image. And it shows that something that they are covering up. But if you look at the situation of Nigeria as it is today, even at the federal level, such a thing is being done. And even at state level, just you can see just what happened now at state level. But this, they have gone a step further by making it bloody. You can see at a point in time, our senators were scaling gates and walls to enter the state, to enter National Assembly. But this one now, you can see actually what is happening. People fighting now. It shows the level of poverty. And it shows the level
of poverty amongst lawmakers?
Yes. Most of our lawmakers are hungry. They are jobbers.
That's why they're fighting over money from the governor.
They are jobbers. They are hungry, they are jobbers. And that is why our democracy should be homegrown. We shouldn't believe in this. If you are nobody, if you have failed in one, most of them have failed in one business or the other, and because they have little money to go into politics, now they call themselves lawmakers. People that cannot even manage their own personal businesses. That is why when they see 2, 3, 4, 10 million naira, they begin to fight over it. It shows the level of poverty, the level of hunger, and the level of inordinate ambition to maintain the status quo. And it shows again the governor himself must have not been fair enough to the people. There's several ways of distributing money, will not by cash, but by project. And this does not only affect Abia State on its own. You can even see that at the federal level. We should reconstruct the system, rejig the system all over. Take them all these jobbers that call themselves politicians. And if you are not worthy, before you enter there, you must have been able to show the public the level of input, achievement you have done, you have made, you have attained as a personal as a Nigerian, than entering there to loot the balls and the treasury of the
so
people.
It's a poverty of character, a poverty of ideas, a poverty of ideals.
Poverty of ideas is poverty in totality.
All right, thank you. Mr. Awamiko, please conclude your thoughts.
I said it's a poverty in generality. If these people have been well to do, they're not fighting over projects. They're not fighting over project implementation, but over the sharing of space funds, which themselves they should be bring to book to be given account of the money they are sharing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Awa Omiko. One thing we'll continue to do is hold these people accountable, because if you were the citizens, you hear them saying, oh, these are the people giving Nigerians a bad name. But if our lawmakers are acting like this and they can see it from the international scene, then I don't know what to say. Mr. Awa Omiko, thank you for joining me on the World News at 6 this evening.
Thank you.
All right, do have an amazing evening. You're still listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Esther Wachko, good evening, and thank you for joining me as well.
I've been waiting for you to be done with Mr. Awamiko, and he actually gave quite an incisive detail into the explanation he gave. So, you know, while you were reading the news, when you talked about the bill in the House introduced for life sentence for those who come for pedophiles, and you said that it was not they did not assent to it. They rather said stiffer sanctions and not life imprisonment. Choma, I don't know if you could recall one Ochanya lady or young lady at 13 years old. It's 5 years now. Apparently, when the father of the late teenager was given details of his ordeal with how the uncle and the son were simultaneously raping his daughter for the years she stayed with them. From the age of 8, Chioma, this young lady or this young teenager was being physically, sexually mutilated. And it started with the boy before the uncle, that's the father of the boy. Do you know that the man and the boy are still working free? We've not heard anything about them. This young lady died of vesicovaginal fistula because she was wearing adult pampers and she couldn't hold her.
That shows you the extent of the violence.
She couldn't hold her pee. She couldn't hold her waist. They ruined this girl's life. And Chioma, most young girls go through this. Even young boys go through this. And I am shocked that they did not understand that this is a dangerous precedent being set. I know that some people, possibly due to religion or traditional culture, marry children, from the age of 7 or 8. Maybe that's why the House decided to just do more stiffer sanctions than life sentence. And Choma, if it were left for me, I would have even said death penalty, just like you want to impose death penalty on those who peddle drugs, because I don't understand how such a bill was proposed in the House and they did not automatically give such a ruling. Do you understand if somebody has been found guilty of such a crime, you say that rather than disclosing that there should be a life sentence, you say stiffer penalties. What other stiffer penalties are you suggesting? 10 years in jail or 15 years in jail? A young lady's life was ruined. You murdered this young girl out of what? Carnal attributes that were literally insane. So again, these are the aspects that you would expect the government of the day to pay attention to when it comes to social welfare and making sure that anything that has to do with the female child or even the boy child is given more than stiffer sanctions when it comes to things like this. It's quite unfortunate. Also, it would be very important for the House to even look into other bills that has to do with children, because we have lots of abuses being imposed on children, and the perpetrators of this injustice are working free, either because they have one connection or the other, or they have the money to make sure that the law does not apply to them. And you have parents whose children are going through this ordeal, having to suffer the consequences of this. Ochaya, it's more than almost 5 years, and we haven't heard any further detail as to how the case is being dealt with. You know, it's a very sad incident, and there are other ladies too, and children too, who have gone through the ordeal that Ochaya has gone through. About Nnamdi Kanu's case and what is currently going on, I don't know what it actually means, whereby they have not accelerated the process where they would have granted bail conditions to Aloy Ejimako, because I don't understand why it is difficult for them to release him. Yes, he's a legal practitioner. He's one of the star legal counsels for Nnamdi Kanu, but he is also a Nigerian who has every right, just like every Nigerian citizen, to participate in any protest that demands for the freedom of himself or his client. So I don't understand. According to what Benjamin Hundeyin said on national television, we listened to him yesterday, that there was a court order for them not to partake in the protest, and that as they are legal practitioners, they breached the law because the court said they could not partake in the protest. There were different court orders. Some said that they were not served, rather they sent it to the media. Is the media the team of protesters? Is the media Omoyele Sowore, Aloy Ejimako, or the leaders of the protests that took place yesterday? Because they said they were not served. Nobody served them anything. So you served the media, meaning that you expect that they should have seen in the media that they were asked not to be part of the protest. I don't understand individuals participating in their civic responsibilities, and you kept them still in police custody. Well, I hope that it's resolved as soon as possible, because Nnamdi Kanu, I think, is to appear this week, and he has been asked to open his defense. It's a very critical period for him, and his legal counsel are meant to be sitting together and strategizing on how they would open their defense, and if they have any witnesses whatsoever, or to counter any of what the prosecution counsel has said or presented as a witness against Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal. Some other persons have said that his situation is deliberate by the Southeast leaders. Choma, let's look at the Southeast leaders. Let's look at the governors, for example. Let's not even look at the House of Rep members or the senators. You have Francis Nwifuru from Ebonyi State. That's Dave Umahi's boy. Dave Umahi, obviously, you know, is not a friend of Nnamdi Kanu. Obviously, you know that he is pro the current administration. So I don't know why anybody thinks that Francis Nwifuru would be part of the process for ensuring that Nnamdi Kanu is there's any political resolution to his case. Now let's look at Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State. He has been vehement on his stance. Anything about Biafra, IPOB, he has not really been into it. He has always condemned the activities. He has always condemned the group. He has been vocal about it. In as much as everyone has a right to self-determination, he has not been happy with the way and activities of, you know, the group, the organization, or the movement. So he has been categorical with his stance. Hope Uzodinma was one person that Nnamdi Kanu called out on several occasions on his broadcast. Hope Uzodinma even said that his house that was burnt was done by Nnamdi Kanu's followers, and that's the ESN operators at the time and some of the IPOB members. So tell me how you expect Hope Uzodinma to want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from with this. Governor Alex Otti has been very meticulous, very strategic, very cautious. If you have been observant with his aura and his attitude all this while, he has not really said anything. It's not like he doesn't have an idea. It's not like he doesn't have a suggestion, but he's been extraordinarily careful. Some people say he's trying to be politically strategic. He doesn't want to have any issues with the government of the day. He wants to deliver for his people, and he doesn't want anyone to mutilate his administrative process in Abia State, since his people are saying he's doing well. So, Choma, if you look at all of this, how do you think that these persons, with their individual perception to Nnamdi Kanu, would want to put themselves out there to ensure his release? Last year, we heard that the governors, all the southeastern governors, along with some House of Rep members, had signed an agreement whereby they had solicited for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We saw them take pictures outside telling us that they are trying to speak with the president and trying to solicit the support for most of the House members, but we didn't see anything like that happening. So again, the question of Nnamdi Kanu's case is very sensitive. It will take, I don't know, the strategic measure the government of the day would apply in handling this case. It's very sensitive. It will speak of the administration of the day on how they handle this matter, because he has been in detention for so long. And if you don't have anything to present against somebody, you can ask them to be on bail while they continue to present themselves in court. You could have a witness who would ensure that he stays home. That is, he stays here. He is not allowed to travel out, if that is what you want to do. Most times they seize their passports so they don't travel out of the country. So why is that method not applied? Or if you want him to be under house arrest and you have your DSS operatives stationed in front of his house for him not to go anywhere beyond staying within the confines of his home while he attends court sessions, why not? But well, it's a dicey situation. We'll continue to see how it is. There have been talks about how Omoyele Sowore is handling the case, different perceptions, but a couple of Nigerians feel that it was a very brazen act of him to carry on. It was something that a couple of Nigerians have not been able to do, specifically those who are not of the Southeast extraction, that is ethnically. So they say that is a very big call. But the big question a couple of critics say is, why now? What do you intend to achieve? Not even with what happened, where the legal counsel of Nnamdi Kanu were the ones apprehended, and the lead person who actually spearheaded the protest is working free. So there have been quite a lot of attributions to it, but let's see how it goes. This will be a testament of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the course of his tenure.
Thank you, Esther. For about 2 minutes, I want us to talk about the unfortunate situation of Aisha Wahab, who is in kidnappers' den. There have been videos of her begging Nigerians to come to her aid. They're asking for 20 million naira. Today, they gave her up until 5 p.m. to raise that 20 million naira, else she'll be killed. Esther,
I can't believe this.
I was watching that video
and
earlier
we saw
today, and
all all the military personnel, all the police, all of them wanting to impede persons from protesting. We saw them with their arms and ammunition. We saw them with their vehicles, everything out there. And they can't track to see that, ensure that this lady is released.
And it's especially how they track people who post anything to criticize this administration or criticize the IG of police or criticize the security agents. And we are hoping that nothing happens to Aisha Wahab. If not, Nigeria would have failed her as it has failed a lot of us before now. There are reports from yesterday till today that Bella Turji has released 100 captives in a fresh peace deal effort. And authorities are maintaining close surveillance to ensure that the peace process remains credible and no group exploit the negotiations
you release captives after some negotiation, but he's still working free.
But he's still working free. He still has his weapons. He still has his contact. He can still decide one day that, oh, I don't want to keep this peace deal anymore, and then still go on a rampage and kill Nigerians. And it is quite unfortunate that when we talk, you see them talking sanctions. When we talk, they start telling us that, oh, you cannot talk about this administration like this. When we talk, they say you're undermining the government. When people protest, they are slammed with charges of treason. That slammed with charges of disturbing the public peace, or you want to destabilize the government, or you want to overthrow the president. And it is very annoying. It is very sad. I'm not trying to be emotional. I'm not trying to be sentimental here. I'm trying to be very, very logical. Why is a Nigerian citizen in the den of kidnappers begging for her life every other day? Esther, this video will never be scrubbed from the internet. Even if that lady is released today, she will always see herself so vulnerable. Remember how the Nigerian state failed her. And it is very, very unfortunate.
She's not the only person. We've seen so many videos of victims like this begging. Can you remember one of the Afenifere leaders? One of them who was
the one who was shot.
Yes,
who was shot
on the buttocks. He was in their custody for a very long time before he was finally released. So Choma, you see what I say? Some people will ask you that when you look at Nigeria, when you want to assimilate or comprehend Nigeria, you'll be shocked because there are no proper adequate words to articulate a country like Nigeria with what is currently happening. It's sad, actually, to be honest with you. I cannot explain what is going on. I don't understand the agreement, the non-verbal agreement, or an agreement that was signed between certain persons for this kind of things to continue. These are the responsibilities of the government of the day, specifically our security operatives. But no, when you come out to protest against things like this, some persons will say, oh, it's because he's from the Southwest. That's why you want to mutilate his government. Well, all these things were happening during the administration of late President Muhammadu Buhari. You guys did not come out to say anything. all of you lamenting were quiet, but it's just 2 years into his administration and you guys want to create fire, you want to cause problem. I don't know, they would ethnicize the conversation, they would look at it. I have never seen a country where some persons are so deluded to the point that they begin to believe the lies that they spill.
Like, how can you believe, like, deny the evidence of your eyes, deny the evidence
It's
of
bad,
your ears, deny the
Hey,
evidence
God.
of your feelings, of your emotions?
That.
Imagine how the family
have no
members
idea.
of this particular person is feeling. So please, Nigerian government, do something. We cannot continue to live like this. There are about 230 million people in Nigeria. How many they won't kill?
There are more than that now. If you do another population census, our population has actually, I would even say, exploded. Because the last time we did a population census, I think I was even very little at the time. It's been quite a while we did a population census. So I want to believe that Nigerians are more than that. Unless you want to say that the killings have depopulated some sections or some regions of the country. But I want to believe that Nigerians are more than 200 and something million Nigerians. I do expect, however, that maybe, I think the president constituted a panel for population census. I don't know what the update is about that or when they intend to do that. But you were saying?
That's if that is going to happen. For me, I'm really concerned about this insecurity, Esther, because like I said on the World News at 12, there was a pastor in Plateau State who came out to talk about the attack that occurred on December 24, 2024 in Bokos local government. He said he lost 150 members of the church, 7 of his own brothers from his family. He was standing in front of his own homestead. He was burnt down to the ground.
These are the clarifications about you remember the whole Christian genocide thing. So videos are coming out of where churches were burnt, where people were massacred. I don't know if you've been seeing that. It's been gaining momentum on social media lately. And more people, more foreigners are tweeting about it, that anybody who wants to put it under the carpet that there is no genocide of a specific religion ongoing is wrong, and they're bringing out evidence to prove it. These were the situation that was ongoing during the administration of late Muhammadu Buhari, before it became something that there was no particular religious coloration to it. But the thing is, insecurity is prevailing. Almost, it's not looking at your religion, it's not looking at your tribe. But was there a Christian genocide at one point in this country? Yes, there was.
And it's affecting us more than we care to admit.
Exactly.
Esther, I lost somebody I've known for over 25 years of my life to insecurity somewhere in the southeast on Friday night. He was coming back from a vigil and he was shot. He was left to bleed out.
He was shot by who?
He was shot by, we don't know, unknown gunmen.
Oh my God, Shoma.
He was left to bleed out there.
I'm so
while
sorry.
the family were looking for him, because we don't understand how terrible this is until it comes home. But you just have to live through it.
Chuma.
You just have to agree that the Nigerian state has failed
Jesus
you.
Christ.
You try not to be sentimental. You try to act like, oh, everything will be better. And at the end of the day, the dead has gone to rest in peace.
This hits home.
But
Chuma.
when someone dies when they are not supposed to, yes, we understand that, oh, someone dies. But when they die by the hands of people who, like, Esther, I don't even know what to say, but this has been the World News at 6 on Voice of the People,
I'm so
90.3
sorry.
FM. We'll continue to hold the government accountable. And at this point, I really don't care what the NBC has to say, but we will continue to hold the government accountable.
No, Chema, you
for
cannot
the
care
lives-
about the
for
NBC.
lives
You're
and
literally
properties
crying
of
over a family
Nigerians.
member.
We will
It doesn't make
continue to-
sense.
Esther, I have known this person for more than 2 decades of
Can
my
you
life.
imagine?
This is somebody I saw last year. He was
Jesus
full of life.
Christ.
He has children that are teenagers. This is somebody that I have known
What?
for many years. This is somebody who relocated from Lagos actually to go to the southeast. He is a cleric, he's a pastor.
God.
He went for a vigil and was coming back. It wasn't even midnight yet, and he was shot dead, left there to
Jesus.
bleed out till the next morning. How do you think his wife felt seeing his body like that on the road? How do you think I feel sitting right here and talking about it? And I feel so helpless because all I can do is talk, and at the end of
Where
the day,
was
Prophet
this?
Chima James Ugu is dead and gone, and nobody can do anything about it.
My
And the
God.
Nigerian authorities will tell you, oh, don't talk, you are inciting the people. I'm not inciting the people. I'm speaking for my brothers and sisters who have to go through, who go through this violence in the hands of unknown gunmen every day. It is frankly annoying.
so
It is
sorry.
terrible, and shame on our security agents if you cannot protect the lives and properties of ordinary Nigerians. Many of the politicians we have today should not be coming back for re-election in 2027, and Nigerians should not vote for them because they are not delivering on their campaign promises, because many of them are are just there to share in the Commonwealth, share it among themselves, lay it up for their children, and they do not care about you.
Chuma,
And Nigerians will be foolish to vote for these people again in 2027 for peanuts. If they dash you 5,000 naira at the polls and you vote for people who do not care about you, then that is on you. My name is Chioma Innocent. This is Voice of People 90.3 FM. Stay tuned. Evening Rush will come in at 7 p.m.